Hey everybody, welcome back to Creative Chat Cafe. It is Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Zef Zan, your host for the show, and I'm looking forward to the next 30 minutes to being here with you on Creative Chat Cafe, the talk show hangout. If you're pretty new to the show, you're probably wondering, what in the world is this talk show hangout about? Well, Creative Chat Cafe is the talk show hangout that brings you guidance, inspiration, and results for all your marketing, business development, and leadership needs. And today, if you look at the bottom of the screen right here, we have two ladies here with me. You're probably familiar with my regular co-host, Tina Kadish, and welcome, ladies. Welcome back, Tina. And you have a rookie down here. If you see at the bottom left of your screen right here,
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Roseanne Ho, who's joining us tonight. She's the rookie in the show, so be nice to her.
Thanks, Zef. Hi, Roseanne.
Hi, wonderful, beautiful day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So let's get started and get these ladies to introduce themselves so that we can get to know them a little bit better. Though you might have seen Tina as my regular co-host, but let's just get her started on introducing herself, and then Roseanne will go on. Go ahead, Tina.
Okay, so thank you so much, Zef. My name is Tina Kadish, and my business is Life is Ideal. I help women to discover their passions, embark on a journey of living life abundantly and healthy and fulfilling their destinies.
Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you. We love having you on the show. Roseanne, go ahead.
Yes, and I am a Dale Carnegie consultant and trainer for about 6 years now. So if you think about a golf ball, right? The difference between a 2 millimeter stroke could mean the ball going this way or this way. So basically, we get you from this to this in a sustainable method. And we have more than 8 million graduates worldwide just in our world-famous Dale Carnegie course. So, wow. And there's, of course, other courses.
So, ladies, we have a great show tonight, and we're talking about a powerful topic that's close and dear to my heart. So before we get started, just wanted to quickly show all of you out there, if you're brand new to the show, you probably wonder if our show has a hashtag. Of course we do. So if you look at the bottom of the screen, this is the hashtag for our show. Hashtag Creative Chat Cafe. If you want to search for our shows, go on Google Plus, go on go on the Google search engine. You can search this hashtag Creative Chat Cafe. You'll be able to see the search results will spit out all our previous contents from previous shows and catch up with our show. So ladies, let's get started, right? So usually we do 3 things on the show. First of all, we'll have a brief conversation about the topic, and the topic today is powerful words that transform lives. What are we really saying? And throughout the show, what are the other things we're going to do? We're going to give you some tips, and there'll be an inspiration towards the end of the show. So Tina, let's get started, right? So you're my regular co-host. The topic that we have today is pretty powerful, and it says powerful words that transform lives. What are we really saying? Do you personally believe that using the right words, Tina, can improve relationships? And if so, why?
Well, the topic is it's a very important topic, and because it affects so many things on so many levels, relationships, life in general. What you say is how people are going to receive the information. You want to connect with people, and it's building relationships. So you can either make them feel bad, or you can uplift someone. So by what you say, and like, for example, if you criticize people, you're going to get some negative behaviors. If you reinforce people or show appreciation of people, you're smiling at them, you're going to have different results than if you wake up in the morning and you have this negative personality, but then you're also saying bad words. It's going to all be reflected in your day. I firmly believe when you wake up in the morning, what you say and how you go about your day will determine your outcome. So I think words affect your outcome, positive or negative.
So, Roseanne, how can, using powerful language help us in our careers and in whatever we do?
Well, of course, Zef. First of all, we need to be putting ourselves in the right state of mind. We have had a client who was going up an elevator for an interview, and of course his heart was beating at 2,500 miles an hour, and he didn't know that the CEO was in the elevator with him. So first impression, right, takes about 3 seconds.
Right.
So his heart here is beating very quickly, and the CEO was asking him, so what brought you here to this building? And immediately he would have to focus on positive thinking. And this is much more than positive thinking. So imagine in a 2-minute conversation, he was able to tell his story about what brought him there. And at the end of that 2-minute elevator ride up, the impression in the CEO's mind was so positive that he did not even have to go for the interview. One phone call to the human relations, right, or human resources officer said, I want that person. And it all starts with having faith, putting ourselves out there and trusting that even though we might not necessarily see the next step in front of us, that we have to know, and fake it till we make it is what we tell a lot of our clients. Because perception is reality, isn't it? If I go up there not feeling confident and I show it in my body language like this, then of course people are going to look at me and say that, ooh, she lacks confidence.
Yeah.
So the first step is really starting with that powerful thought. And believe it or not, we talk to ourselves at least 50,000 times a day. Now, not all of those. Yes, imagine the filters, right? And not all of those are positive.
Yeah.
So we really have to be careful, because Roger Ailes also say we are the message.
Yes.
Our emotions get translated onto our face. So it's extremely crucial in terms of career enhancement.
I love it. Many of us sometimes don't think about it, but not only use your powerful words when you're in front of your potential employer, but use powerful words pretty much everywhere. So that's a lesson learned. So I mean, one of the biggest things moving forward, I think, ladies, is people often ask, but how do we get there, and sometimes, I mean, Tina and Roseanne, I'm sure you've gotten into some bad situations where sometimes you're driven by your emotions. But Tina, let me ask you this: sometimes our words, driven by emotions in bad situations, can cause bad choices, especially.
Yes.
But whether they are, whether they are incoming or outgoing, because the exchange of words. But do you have any tips or suggestions on, how we all can get better at handling a bad situation and use more positive, powerful words? Maybe, you can share something that you probably have personally experienced, or, any kind of suggestions, that would be great.
Yes, definitely. I think that my tip is to really, you want to make people feel important. You want to motivate them. You want to make them feel special. And I think the words, again, going back to, of course, our topic today, is how can we motivate them? How can we make them feel important? So I think everybody wants to be appreciated. They want to feel important. It's a very important I think value. I know myself, when somebody compliments me, I feel really good. When someone shows appreciation, I feel really good about myself.
Yes.
And so it's about them, it's not about you. So making people feel important would be my tip.
Roseanne, what are your tips on how we can take control of habitual vocabulary to change the quality of our lives?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. So, Zef, and for Tina and for the guests, so it takes about 21 days, believe it or not, to create a new behavior. Quit smoking, to lose weight, to learn a new language. So, and we tend to be our biggest critics. When something bad happens, we beat ourselves, right? When we really need to be our own cheerleaders. So we say in general, there are 3 kinds of thought processes or presentations, if you will. The first one is the one that we prepare. The second one is the one that we give. And the third kind is the one that we wish we had given. And the thing is, nobody knows the difference. So if we don't apologize, and we never do that, why should we bring down our own credibility? Now imagine the subconscious mind is a very powerful machine. It beats at about 4 million beats per second. If you can think about that, that's really powerful. Wow. If we were to just depend on our intellectual brain to make things happen, it's never going to do that, because we're going to drive ourselves crazy trying to strategize, this is going to happen, and then this. So what I would suggest is every morning, the first thing we do when we open our eyes is have gratitude and appreciate what we have. Ask ourselves, what are 3 things?
Be thankful.
That's right.
That again. When we wake up, we must do what, Roseanne?
Ask yourself, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for? Not 3 things that I'm fearful of. 3 things that I'm grateful for, so that it puts our mind in that higher state already.
So, Zef, let me ask you, what are your top 3 principles in communicating with people?
Well, that's a great question, Tina, because I know I have 3 that I always bank on when I communicate with people, whether it's in person or out there networking. Networking online, social media. One of the things learned, and my mentors have taught me, is that know who you're talking to. Because everyone that you speak to probably has a different style of communication. And I've got some statistics here. So it's said that different people process communications differently. 10% of what they read, 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see, and the combination of what they hear and see is 40%. So that's a huge thing, because it's just, because I'm that kind of person too, audio and visual. So
yes.
I pay attention that way, and I have to know, in a way, I have to make an effort to know who I'm talking to. Sometimes it's true when you go out networking or you're meeting person first time, whether it's online or in person, it's hard to kind of gauge, right, what kind of personality they have or what kind of communication skills or styles they have. So I think one of the great things to do is just kind of like ask a little bit of a question, make a few questions, standard questions that you will ask people to just kind of get a feel of what their communication style is. So a good thing that I've studied in the past is I studied this Dr. Robert Rome's course or program called DISC, Personality Insight. So according to him, there's 4 different basic personalities: dominant, inspiration, cautious, and sweet. So when I learned that course and learned about the 4 basic personalities, it does help me to go out there and go like, oh my God, that's one. I can't talk to her that way because she's very dominant. I'll talk to the other one, and maybe she's a little bit sweet, and you can't go like, hello, So it's kind of important that we all know who we're talking to. It does help.
That made a lot of sense, and I could definitely relate. I've done the DISC myself, and it's very important I've always learned to adapt to your style with the other person, because we're all different and we communicate differently. And it's very interesting when you meet somebody, you make an impression. I think it's like 3 seconds. You're making a good impression or a bad impression. So very important to understand people's communication styles.
Second of all, be a good listener, because at the end of the day, people don't really want to, hear what we have to say that much. Just, be a good listener to other people that you're talking to, because it is important. With 3, think before you speak, because sometimes we all meet, people that we enjoy and like for the first time, and we all get excited, but we totally forget to, think before we speak, because we just want to, oh my God, keep on talking, right? Because I can do that forever. But I think if we give ourselves a chance to think before we speak, we tend to deliver our message more effectively, and we're able to communicate and connect better with whoever that we're meeting for the first time. So it's kind of very important to do these 3 things, and I've learned it the hard way. Like I said, know who you're talking to, be a good listener, and also think before you speak, because sometimes when you say it out loud, you cannot retract it. So always think before you speak, and you become more effective at connecting with people that way. And that's my 3 tips.
Very good. No, I definitely very valuable principles, and I have to agree with you on that, definitely.
Yeah.
Roseanne, let me ask you a question. As a Dale Carnegie trainer, and I'm sure you've read the book, of course, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which part of the book do you feel that speaks out to you than what we're talking about today?
Yes, yes. And I also would like to share this. This is How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age. This is the newer version relating to the 21st century.
Yes. I still have the paperback version.
Like this, right? Okay, so going back to the older version, Tina, there are a couple of things that really stand out. Dale Carnegie has about 30 human relations principles and 30 stress and worry principles. So principle number 3, one of the most difficult one, is arouse an eager want in the other person. So before we even know how to do that, we need to know what the want is. And that's one amazing example from the book about a manufacturing plant manager. He had the morning shift and the night shift people. So he wanted them to compete and see which group is more productive. So to the morning session or the morning crew, he would tell them, hey, there's a number 6 on the floor with the chalk written on the floor. So that means that the night shift people produced 6 out of 10 units, for example. Can you guys beat that? So he challenged them in a very nice way. Not you have to do this or else you'll be fired, but hey, bring out the competitiveness in them by challenging them in a very positive way. So they did that. And then by the time the night shift came, there was a 7 on the floor. And the night shift people said, hey, what happened? What did the morning shift people do? They beat us by 1. So then it went on, and that's a great way to increase morale, productivity, and engagement at the workplace. So that's one example that I always remind myself that, like you're talking about personality styles, it's easy to think that if we are a hammer, everyone is a nail, right? And go ding, 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 ding. But that's not the case. So using this, we need to be able to arouse the eager one in different personalities. And there's another story which Dale Carnegie says, how can you make the fault seem like it's easy to correct? And the only thing that is really key, if we don't get anything else from the book, is Principle 17, which is try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. So there was this, definitely. Easy, but not, it's simple, but it's not easy.
It's not easy. Because I know for myself, one of the things is, you're always thinking about yourself and, me, and this is what I have to offer, and why wouldn't you want it, and you're constantly talking about you. So one of the things that in the book that's very valuable for me is that it's about them. So what's in it for them, create that want from that individual, and really understand where they're coming from. And really, that's how you're also building that relationship that we talked about earlier, relationships. So very, very true, Roseanne.
Tina, how about you? Have you read the Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People? Can you kind of share with us one value from the book that you have benefited from and how?
Everything in that book is so good. Really hard to really get a favorite, but I think one of the things that's very important for me is the smiling. I think really how important smiling is every day. And what you're doing every day creates that outcome. We make choices, we make decisions every day, but the smiling and having that positive body language, but the words you use always positive, and smiling. I think that's really one of the things that is very important that I've learned in the book. But everything is so valuable in the book. I've read it multiple times.
That's awesome because, people forget to smile, and actually that's the biggest icebreaker, I think.
Yes.
You meet somebody new, and if you don't smile, it makes it, I almost feel that that's a barrier there, that's, oh, that's a wall there. And, when you smile, it just kind of melts everything away. Oh my God, I always say this is whenever we're having fun on the show, before we know it, we're at the end of the show, right? So before we go, ladies, this has been a great topic, because if you really think about it, right? So it may seem small to some of you, but the words that we use daily, in our conversations, in our chit chats with even family members, I've gone into the habit of really, before I speak, I really kind of, it goes in my head like, do I really want to say this? What would happen if I say this?
Yes.
And, sometimes there's a couple ways of saying it. I've actually had to train my mind and my brains in saying, like, if I say it this way, this is the probable outcome, but I think I want the outcome to be this way, so I'll choose this sentence instead of that first other choice. So sometimes it does take a little while, just like what Roseanne was saying. It takes 21 days to create a good habit. So baby steps. Don't feel like you have to do it all at once, but this has been a great conversation. And before we go, I just want to share a little bit of where you can watch our show. So on Wednesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can actually, my finger never do the right way. There you go, entrepreneursthatsoar.com, and that's the website where you can watch it. And there's a drop-down tab under Watch Hangouts. You can watch Katie Chat Cafe, catch up on that page, all of previous episodes. And then you can also watch our previous shows on our YouTube channel, Entrepreneurs That Soar, and there is a playlist here that says Katie Chat Cafe 2014, and all our shows are there. And I would also like to personally invite everybody to join in our Google Plus community. It says right here, Creative Chat Cafe, Google Plus community, and there's a tab on the left here, and you can come in and introduce yourself. We would love to hear what you have to say. We would love to hear what you do, and get active in the community and get to know one another. So before we go, I'm going to just get these ladies to give their information so you can connect with them post-show also.
Okay, so my website is www.lifeisideal.com, and my email is tkadishcoach@gmail.com. And you can go on my website and get more information about what I do and how I offer one-on-one coaching. I also do workshops and offer other tips on how you can empower your life.
Yes, and you can see my website there, www.westernct.dalecarnegie.com, and there will be a link that you can reach out to me from that, or just try me at ROZANNE_HO at dalecarnegie.com.
Yay! I must say, if we have more time, we could go on and on and on, because I can really give you a good picture and scenario of some of the horrid words that I've heard out there network, because sometimes we don't realize it. But anyways, thank you for watching Creative Chat Cafe. Watch us Wednesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until the next time we meet right here on air. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Roseanne, you, Tina, for being here with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.